Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of STRI and Polypipe's series of videos called Why Should I Care About Water Management? I'm Tom Young from STRI, and with me I have Charlotte Markey from Polypipe. Hi Charlotte, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Very excited about an excellent series of videos that we've got lined up.
Yeah, well, we thought it would be a good idea in the current situation, and STRI and Polypipe are working obviously a lot closer together now, and big infrastructure projects to kind of give people a bit of a flavour for the sorts of things we get up to. And I think a lot of the things that people forget that water management actually involves, and how integrated it is. I know you guys are starting to work very closely in the kind of the bigger urban field now, not just kind of pipes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess we started about 20 years ago, and really our speciality was moving water from A to B under the ground, really in either large diameter pipe or deep attenuation crates. But with these kind of collaborations with people such as yourself at the STRI and the implementation of our new green urbanisation team, who I work with, it's really important that we start thinking about how we can use solutions below the ground to create above ground amenity.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, your background, you've been with Polypipe, I think about what, 6, 7 months now, but you've been in the green infrastructure business for quite a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the Green Urbanisation Innovation Manager here, and that really covers everything from blue roofs, which I know you yourself have an excellent background in, urban trees and suds, sports pitches, and other public realm facilities such as cycle tracks, bike paths. So anything that's actually, making people's lives better and using the multifunctional landscape to do that.
Yeah, well, my background is been a bit more academic, where I did a PhD on green roofs, kind of very academic, but sponsored by a company. So I think I got a flavour of the kind of the real life as well. And then since being at STRI, we obviously work very closely with developers and companies such as yourself. So I think between the two of us, we've got a nice balance of kind of practical experience on the ground and knowledge of maybe the theory behind some of these systems. I'll bring up the next slide, Shark. I think we'll go through who we've got and some of the ideas we've got. And this is by no means an exhaustive list. We've put together 6 episodes to begin with, and hopefully this is something which will carry on in the future.
Absolutely.
So we've obviously got today. We're just introducing the concept of what we're trying to do, and our first episode, we're going to have Dr. Christian Spring from STRI, who we somehow managed to condense him down into 20 minutes worth of chat. Where he's condensed 6 years of research that we've done at STRI on the permavoid system and looking at that under sports turf, and really kind of a new way of looking at how to build sports fields and bringing that whole kind of SUDS way of thinking into it. So that's a really interesting episode with quite a lot of science to show.
Absolutely. I mean, we couldn't have done anything that we've done on some of these sports pitches without that empirical data set behind us. So that's a really important piece of work that we've done. And indeed, there's not that many other providers of these kind of systems out there that can really back up in the same way as we've done with Dr. Christian. It's been very extensive, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then kind of nicely following that, we've got Sean Robinson from Polypipe, who he's given us a few really nice case studies of some kind of, quite a few varied projects that you guys have been involved in.
Absolutely. And I was really impressed when I joined 6 months ago at just some of the applications of the permavoid system in terms of both permanent and temporary sports pitch spaces. So that was something that Sean has taken us through in that episode.
Yeah, definitely. And then on a similar kind of theme, we had to wrestle Nick. He nearly beat Christian's record in terms of the length of the episode, but he gave us a more specific example to do with blue roofs and kind of podiums. So that was a really nice example because I think there's some of the concepts we're working on stadiums as well, which we'll pick up with Lee in the next episode of water management on a stadium to a housing estate is basically the same thing, really, isn't it?
Well, I mean, all these applications are holistic and they're all tied in with some of the same concepts and the same technical expertise that we need to deliver them. So it's good to present a sort of wide overview, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then finishing off, it was probably my favourite episode to record of all the ones we've done is the England hockey with Sue Catton. which was a really kind of fantastic example, a proper left field example of where we've been involved with them, and one that I think, well, 2 years ago, I don't think either of us would have expected to have been involved in that kind of project.
No, it's it takes a big project like that to really act as a catalyst for innovation, doesn't it? When you've got to deliver at that scale and with those parameters, it's really important that you have these kind of collaborations that we've created.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give everyone a quick background on STRI, Charlotte, just in case no one knows who we are, and I'll let you do the same for Polypipe. So, just in terms of STRI, we're a sports research and consultancy company who specialise in the whole design, build, planning, and operation of sports facilities. And so obviously water management plays a huge role in that from a planning point of view with restrictions, which we talk a lot about in the episodes, all the way through to things like irrigation and just general drainage, and then through to the actual operation, the long-term kind of sustainability of a facility. And we get involved at all levels. You see some of the pictures there from the highest tournaments, the last 3 FIFA World Cups we've been involved in, the equestrian arena and the cross-country track at the Olympics in 2012. Through to Wimbledon every year. We're very lucky to go down there every year and help the guys test the courts. And then all the way through very recently, the first grass racetrack in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, which was the world's most expensive race. So all of that kind of encompasses all the different things we do related to sports turf. But at the centre of that is that kind of water management theme, which is becoming more and more important as we go on. And especially when you look at some of the places around the world that we operate, obviously our head office is in Bingley, usually seen as a very wet Yorkshire climate, but even at the moment we've had a drought. We've barely had a drop of rain for the last 2 months, so it's not like we're immune from it in the north of England. Our other research sites, we've got 2 main ones, one in Qatar, so obviously water management there is a key issue, and that's all related to the forthcoming World Cup. And in Australia and Brisbane as well, where although they're in a tropical climate, they still have some serious water issues there, and the rest of Australia. So that's where we operate, and water's kind of the connecting theme amongst all of that between sports and non-sport stuff projects we get involved in.
And presumably that gives you a real opportunity to test concepts across different applications in different climates. If you sort of say you've got a very heavy rainfall period in your head office, but you want to test something under drought conditions, you've got the ability to look at projects in the Middle East, for example, Australia. And I know you've done quite a lot to look at sports pitches out there as well. So
yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart, is having those test facilities, and that's obviously where we're collaborating at the moment, as well as maybe on some research like that as well. And being able to go to those different climates is invaluable.
Absolutely, and that probably extends to our blue roof innovations and things where we could work together in the future to actually see how they test in different city environments, really all over the world.
Yeah, definitely.
So a little bit about Polypipe civils and green urbanisation. As I said earlier, for the last 20 years, really in fact, many solution providers were treating water as an inconvenience, but now we're really seeing the need to actually think ahead. If we look at the agricultural community here this year, they're complaining now that there's little water, but actually we had such heavy rainfall last December. We need to be thinking about how we have a sort of more circular approach rather than a linear one to managing water, which is why Polypipe acquired the Permavoid system, which we'll talk about in subsequent episodes. And it was really that passive irrigation approach and source control SUDs that we've decided to move into much more extensively. If you can move the slide forward, Tom, if you will. So it's a new opportunity for us and extending the SUDS envelope. So for us, that means thinking about a new generation of technologies that will optimise our urban green assets through an extended and fully integrated sustainable water management network. So that means thinking about how we treat water at source, whether it's blue-green roofs, sports pitches, podiums, tree pits or highway schemes, rain garden build-outs, and not just moving it from A to B, but actually reusing, cleaning, separating the water, and really thinking about the smart use of resources. Next slide, please, Tom. So for us, it's about extending that SUDS envelope and using passive irrigation technology. And it's not just about, and I think the STRI has really shown us this as well, it's not just about volumetric resilience, but it's actually about the resilience of the green asset you're supporting with these systems as well, and getting the right growing medium, the right substrate and the right conditions using this technology to really ensure that our landscape is providing what it needs to all year round.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. So it's a scalable solution. So really we've got relationships with STRI as well as other more digitally enabled collaborators who specialize in smart sensors and that sort of side of the smart city agenda. We work with a company called Kistas as well. And what that enables us to do is actually embed sensors into our permavoid units, whether that's a blue roof application, sports pitches, tree pits, and actually intelligently monitor the levels of water within the permavoid system. And we have an ambition that we can actually think about a catchment level approach to managing water. So that really means using a cloud-based system, looking at the water levels within all our SUD systems that we've retrofitted. And if there's a physical connection, we can use our digital understanding of what's going on to actually move water between these systems. So this is really revolutionary thinking when it comes to water management, not just thinking about things piecemeal, but actually a holistic approach. So that's really where we're going. I hope that's given some insight into that, and I look forward to the subsequent episodes.
Yeah, brilliant, Charlotte. I think, yeah, really looking forward to getting into a bit more of the detail. I think all the things you've mentioned there, we're going to pick up on a smaller kind of case by case study, or as you said, that kind of bigger catchment level aim. So we're going to do an initial 5 episodes. We'll see where we're at the end of that, and I can see us doing future episodes as well. So thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing you over the next few weeks.
Thanks ever so much.